I'm on a date, right? And I ordered 6 different meals, and this man do not want to pay for my food. I don't know why.
I'm upset because literally this man just brung me on a date, and he's not paying for anything. Oh my God.
If you're on a first date and the very first thing someone does is order 6 different meals while expecting the other person to pay for everything, there's a good chance that won't go over well. Most people aren't going to eat that much food in one sitting, so it can easily create the impression that the extra food is meant to be taken home rather than enjoyed during the date. Regardless of these intention, it can come across as taking advantage of the situation. But guys, today we're looking at some of the wildest stories of women experiencing their worst dates, all because the man wasn't willing to pay for the entire meal.
Y'all would not believe what just happened. Like, I literally went on a date with a guy, and let's just say, mind you, he's sitting right next to me. I ordered what I want. He didn't want to order anything because he ate, so he just ordered a drink. I ordered what I wanted, and he hears it clearly because he's right next to me. The food comes, he started making all these comments. Oh, you ordered that? Oh, you gonna eat all that? Mind you, I told him that my friend flew into town, and then after dinner I was gonna go see her because she wanted me to pull up on her or whatever. He's like, did you order some food for your friend? He was like, if I wasn't here, would you order all that? Baby, you think I can't afford a meal? I said, honestly, if you wasn't here, I would have still ordered like this. This is how I eat with my friends. This is how I eat when I'm by myself. This man said, oh, I'm gonna go. I said, okay. He lays down $100, walks off. Mind you, he called us a black truck to dinner. So I rode with him in an Uber. He left. He didn't say anything.
This woman's perspective seems completely out of touch with the situation. Given everything that happened, it's not surprising that the man decided to leave. And honestly, the fact that he even gave her $100 beforehand was already a generous gesture. If she had been there by herself, it's fair to wonder whether she would have ordered the same amount of food. At the end of the day, he agreed to go on a date with her, not to cover the bill for her friend as well. Expecting someone to pay for additional people they never agreed to invite isn't really reasonable.
Let me understand this. My lights got turned off, so I called my baby's father and asked him if he could get my lights turned on for me. He said no, because I have a husband and that's his responsibility. How is that his responsibility to pay my lights to get turned back on after they get turned off? That you have kids that stay here. You don't care about your kids. I understand that I have a husband, granted, don't beat me up over it, but we fell on hard times. So as my baby's father, I feel like you're supposed to pick up the slack. So you rather for your kids to be in the dark than to help your baby mother get her lights turned back on? What if I didn't have a husband? Would you have helped me then? These men is crazy. Sir, help me get my lights turned on. Don't worry about my husband. He's doing what he's supposed to do as a man. As my baby daddy, you should be helped.
I think the biggest question here is why you didn't reach out to your husband first to help resolve the situation or get the lights turned back on. Maybe there's context that's missing from the story, but based on the information presented, that seems like the most obvious option. Without that explanation, it can give the impression that the goal was less about finding a solution and more about asking him for financial help.
On a date, and it's like, it was good. And then yet, like, I'm just tired of, like, I don't know. The bill came. The bill didn't come. He asked for the bill. And in French, he said 2 bills. And then so they came, and I was like, if someone says, I want to take you out, then I want to be taken out, which means to me to pay and whatever. So we did that. I paid, and it's fine. And then after I was honest, and I just said it, like, I don't know, because I said, like, yeah, I thought you were going to take me out. And like, to me, that means pay. And then suddenly his English wasn't so good anymore. When he was like, I don't understand what you mean. I was honest and like, whatever, what else do I have to lose? I just want to be honest because there's a way that I want to be treated. And like, I might as well just tell someone, like, what else do I have to lose? I don't know. And then like afterwards, he was like, next time I'll pay. Like unprompted, he said that after we were having another conversation. I said, okay. And then he said, are you free this week? And I said, yeah. And then I texted him after and I'm like, I had a nice time, thanks. And then he read it and didn't respond. And it's like, okay, I don't know. Like, I'm just tired of... I'm happy I was honest. But like, I just like want a fucking gentleman.
Based on her reaction, it seems like she became emotional pretty quickly over the situation. What I don't fully understand is why she appeared so surprised by the possibility of having to contribute to the bill. When you're going on a date, it's generally a good idea to be prepared for different outcomes, including the possibility that expenses might be split. Not everyone is willing or able to cover the entire cost. So having realistic expectations beforehand can help avoid misunderstandings and disappointment.
How the hell do you invite me on a date and don't pay for my food?
Really? You put the phone out?
Yeah, I put my phone out.
This steak is so good. That's cool.
If you invite somebody, don't y'all expect them to pay for your food? You
Baby,
invited me here.
Don't you expect it? Like, I don't pay for women if I can't touch them. Y'all look like y'all think because you pretty, I'm supposed to be just cashing my money.
The point of the date is to get to know each other.
Well, you know each other. I'm gonna eat. You pay for your food. I pay for my own food, right?
That wasn't part of the. When you invited me on a date, I expected you to pay. I don't have any money, and I told you that. You still gonna sit here and eat in front of me?
Why would you come to a date with no money?
I thought you was gonna pay. You invited me. I didn't make plans. You made the plans. You made the plans. You should have the money.
No, you said we should go out to eat. That's okay. Cool.
No.
We're going out to eat.
No. But who slid in who DMs?
That's fine.
You wanted me. Am I wrong? Am I right or am I wrong?
I'm just tired of these broke trying to use.
Nah,
I understand you. I'm saying these broke are trying to use their money, thinking they.
But you put me in the same category as them.
Pulling out your phone to record someone and potentially embarrass them on social media is pretty extreme, especially during a private interaction like a date. It also feels very similar to the situation in the previous clip. Regardless of who ultimately pays, it's generally a good idea to show up prepared to cover your own expenses if necessary. While many people still prefer traditional dating expectations where one person picks up the bill, there can always be situations where plans change, the bill is split, or unexpected circumstances come up. Being prepared helps avoid awkward situations and keeps the focus on getting to know the other person, rather than arguing about money.
First restaurant he gonna take you to, what's the last restaurant your daddy took you to? Cause you shouldn't be coming to him to be your daddy. That's not his role. It's a first date. I want y'all to bring that down to level 3. Y'all way on 10 with this foolishness and want to embarrass somebody. My second question is, have you ever been anywhere? Where do you take yourself? Let me see your checkbook registry. Let me log into your bank account and see what you feed yourself on a regular basis. Where do you take yourself for lunch or dinner? That's the next question I want you to answer. And then the third thing about this, come on back over here because I need you to understand what time it is. A real lady is gonna be there for the purpose of what it's for. She's not looking for food because she's hungry that she can't afford so she can take it to go and get a doggy bag. I'm gonna wrap this up to go. Why? You ain't gonna have food tomorrow? That's a poverty mindset. So a first date, again, is to get to know the person, to hang out, have fun. Y'all should be laughing and talking. It don't need to be a steakhouse. We don't even know if you worth a steak. You might just be worth a piece of bread. So ladies, young ladies, grow up. Get some maturity about yourself. Y'all buying lashes, booties, and everything else, and you want somebody else to feed you. Save your money, stop buying your body, and put it to the side so you can have some.
It's admirable how this woman stood up for her son and looked out for his best interests. Most people would agree that expecting someone to spend an excessive amount of money on a first date, especially something as high as $1,000, is unreasonable. At the end of the day, a healthy relationship should be built on mutual respect, compatibility, and genuine interest, rather than financial expectation. If someone seems primarily focused on how much money can be spent on them, that may be a sign that their priorities don't align with the kind of long-term partnership many people are looking for.
Okay, so, but my question here is, when you made all this ordering, you were ordering this and 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 this, you never once said, hey, I'm going to order this. Would you like to share it?
Okay, to be fair, I was always raised that if a guy takes you out, he pays for you. That's just what life
Okay,
No, this just
okay. And I'm asking the question,
Yes.
when you ordered this, did you have the intention of sharing anything with him? And did you ask him, would you like to share before you ordered?
I mean, I didn't ask him, but I kind of just assumed.
Lady, that's a yes or no question.
Then no.
Okay, so you didn't ask. So when you were ordering all these things, did you realistically believe that you were going to eat everything that was in front of you? And I'm not talking about you got a plate and you like my mom used to tell me as a kid, clear out your plate and eat everything on the plate. No, that's not what I'm getting at. What I'm saying is you knew, hey, oh yeah, I can eat this, I can eat this, I can eat this, I can eat this, because I have a huge appetite, but you nibbled. So I'm under the impression that you knew that there was no way I'm going to be able to eat all this. I could sample each one of these items. That was your expectation.
You could order a little sampler. I would have done that.
Honestly, it's refreshing to see someone focus on personal responsibility in this situation rather than automatically taking one side. Based on the story being presented, it appears that the concern was less about the date itself and more about the unusually large amount of food that was ordered. If someone orders far more than they realistically plan to eat and expects the other person to cover the entire bill, it's understandable why that might be viewed negatively. From that perspective, it could give the impression that the goal was to maximize what could be gained from the date, rather than simply enjoying the experience and getting to know the other person.
Married?
No.
Do you want to be married?
Yes, I do.
Do you want children?
Yes, I do.
Do you think your husband will be a musician, an actor, or an athlete?
Yes, I absolutely do. What? Yeah, I know for a fact. That's the men that I be with. So.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
No.
Yes, those are the kind of men I attract, I be around. My resume kind of speaks for itself.
You got no wedding ring.
Wow, I really don't understand some of the attitudes that have become common in modern dating. The fact that she refers to her past relationships as a resume makes it sound more like she's talking about a career than her personal life. That wording alone is pretty telling because it can give the impression that relationships are being viewed through the lens of status, achievements, or personal gain rather than genuine connection. Whether intentional or not, the way she frames it says a lot about how she may approach dating and what she values in a relationship.
Why is the house still in his mama's name? I just got back from reviewing a divorce petition. I asked the client specifically, is the house in your name? He's like, yeah, it's been my house since my mother passed away. Me and my wife have been living in this house. Several red flags is reading up to me. Something told me, do a title report. Go to data tree, pull the title history. The house is not in his name. It's still in his mother's name. No affidavit, no transfer home death, nothing. So now in the middle of a divorce that they were going to already sell the property, which that's what they hired me for. Now his mother's estate has to go into probate because the house has never been legally transferred. It's still in his mother's name. On top of the fact that community funds have been used to pay the mortgage, get things fixed and everything for several years. Several years.
Honestly, it seems like the man made a decision he felt was necessary by putting the house in his mother's name. If things do end up going to court, the outcome would depend on the legal details and what actually applies in that situation. From his perspective, it looks like he's trying to protect his assets amid concerns about how the relationship is unfolding. At the end of the day, situations like this are often complicated, and both sides usually have their own version of events and intentions.
We were talking about whether there should be no-fault divorce or fault divorce. We were also talking about, should there even be marriages today? Kind of, what's your take on some of these issues?
Well, I mean, I love marriage. I've done it a few times. So, that's my thing,
A few times.
And I hate to say, in my younger day, I used to see it as a sport. I got married for sports. I did get married for the wrong reasons because a lot of women, they don't know how to, cash in on a marriage. But I had the formula, so I did it for fun.
Wow. Okay, wait. What is the formula for cashing in on a marriage? Marriage just for fun.
cashing in per se, but getting a high value man and getting them to the altar. A lot of women don't know how to do that as you're a professional, because a lot of times as professional women, we lead with our education instead of leading with our hearts or with our, I guess, sexuality in a way. So a lot of women, they cannot get married to the man they want. And so, I kind of figure out the formula for it. I can teach y'all that want me to, but that'll be another service. But yeah, one thing is with marriages, when you look to marry someone, you also want to see them as someone you can possibly divorce. And in a positive way.
Wow, wait. Say that again.
When you get married to someone, you want to see them as someone you're able to divorce. As in, you don't want to get married to an and he's there's gonna through a divorce. Like rape you, I meant to say, through a divorce. You want to get someone that kind of where their heart is, where their mind is. So if things should go left, you don't have to worry about turning into a vicious kind of person, even though things do happen. But yes, all of the husbands I married, I kind of figured it would be easy to divorce because I knew they were decent men to begin with.
This kind of mindset around marriage is part of why some men today are choosing to avoid marriage altogether, or insisting on prenups before committing. When relationships start to feel transactional or focused on financial gain, it can make people more cautious about long-term commitment. The way this woman is being portrayed makes it seem like she views relationships as a kind of game or opportunity for financial advantage, which many would see as unhealthy for building trust. Anyway, guys, you won't want to miss this last clip.
A couple was left blindsided when their share of a 40th birthday dinner came to $1,100. Yes, inflation was on the menu. No? Okay. The Redditor and his wife were going out with a bougie couple with upscale taste, so they expected it to be an expensive celebration, but not like mortgage payment expensive. It went the typical way. The birthday boy's wife paid for everything and then figured everyone would settle up later, and the couple expected their share would be around $300 or so. Boy, were they wrong. The total tab split between 13 people ended up being $540 a person, and the couple felt like they should have been warned ahead of time that it was going to be that expensive, and many on Reddit agreed. The restaurant had a very expensive prefix menu, and the itemized receipt revealed that people had ordered several bottles of very expensive wine on top of it. But this couple had only had 2 cocktails each, which meant their share actually only came to $666, more than $400 less than they'd been asked to pay. But this whole debacle, like most restaurant bill problems, could have been avoided if people were just more comfortable talking about money. In fact, many etiquette experts say that discussing all of this beforehand is the only right way to handle bill splitting situations. And many suggest that hosts in particular should initiate these conversations with friends, especially in situations like this where they know it's going to be very expensive or there's going to be a huge disparity in alcohol consumption. It shouldn't be considered gauche or unreasonable for someone to simply say, hey, I can't afford this. And being willing to just discuss this stuff ahead of time avoids all.
So this whole situation is a good reminder to check the restaurant you're planning to go to before you actually show up. Even if it means skipping a night out with friends, sometimes that's the responsible choice if the budget isn't there. It's also important that people feel more comfortable discussing money expectations ahead of time to avoid awkward situations later on. But I hope you all enjoyed the video.